How are you? How are you? How are you?
I'm
Sure.
okay. Hi, Susie Woos.
Good.
Susie Woos.
You lost a syllable there, Susie.
Susie
Yeah.
You're Susie Woos
Susie
today, not
Woozy, and I'm
Woo.
Shirley Whirly. It's been years. Yeah,
Yeah,
these
but
little
today it was
nicknames for
Susie
each other.
Woos, not Woozy.
Yeah,
Susie Woos.
Just
Susie
Woos.
Woos. I know.
Suze Woos. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're, Cheryl. What's been happening with you? It feels like, I don't know, like a year ago that we spoke or something. I don't know, doesn't it? It feels like
Well,
ages.
I'm sorry to say I didn't do a lot of work since our last meeting.
All right. That's all right.
Um,
Been busy. It's all right.
Well, it's the year end for my son's business, and I do his books.
Wow.
So I've been getting him ready for taxes,
Good.
and it's
good,
been
good,
a little bit of a bear.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And this is the accounting thing. This is something that you're looking to do more with.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to.
yeah,
I have to get certified, and then I can pretty much take off. But of course, I put me on the back burner because my son's business is in its infancy, and we want to make sure we don't make any mistakes. This is his first tax season.
There's a difference between doing accounting and bookkeeping. You can do bookkeeping for anybody. You don't need to be certified or nothing. So just be aware. Yeah. A lot of people want bookkeepers because they just want somebody to make sure it's all done and right and good, and everybody's happy, and they don't get into trouble, and that's it. So they're just lazy, and they don't like going to the big official places either. So a lot of business there.
With the programs that are available today, it can be done remotely. I don't even have to go to their businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I kind of like the thought of that.
Mhm.
Unless they have all their receipts in a shoebox.
Yeah, they don't have to pay me benefits, health benefits. I'm like a subcontractor.
Yeah, you're an independent contractor. Exactly.
Yeah.
You start your own business. That's it. Start your own business. Your own thing. Yeah. Very powerful.
It's kind of the
Very
plan.
cool. Yeah. Well, do it. What's stopping you?
Well, the universe sent me a message in the form of a new boss at work. Walked in yesterday, and there's a brand new boss, and he basically crawled up my butt with a microscope, and I was under full inspection.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? This job keeps me in hairspray.
Right.
It's not a career.
Exactly.
I know they take it seriously, but it's a part-time gig.
Right.
Well, I think that was a little nudge from the universe.
Yeah.
Move on.
There you go.
Yeah, move on.
Once you start doing it, just do one thing at a time. Start your own little business. There you go. Whatever it is, do it. Okay, do it as a part-time gig too. You don't even have to go through all the hoops and stuff. Just start reaching out to people. Hey, you want to do your books? You want to do your books? There you go. And you get a few clients, and once you have a few clients, then word spreads, and there you go.
Yeah, I think it'll work. And Susie Justin finally got the PPP thing.
Did he? Oh, good.
He got a $15,000 grant. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So he's putting me on the payroll.
Excellent.
There you go. As what? As the bookkeeper?
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for free for him for a year now.
Well, finally he started paying. Good.
Now he's going to start paying his mama.
Excellent. But also, it is important just for your CV. You could say, well, you know what? I've been doing the books here for however long. So that being on the payroll makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And just start asking people to spread the word. Just start posting on your Facebook page, all the stuff. Hey, I started a new business doing books. There you go. I've been doing books for this and this and that and whatever. And there you go. Next thing, word spreads.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You ever know the convent may need somebody to do their books.
I'm not sure about that. I don't even know how. Well, that'd be a nonprofit. I don't know if I know how to do that.
Yeah. It's not like you can't learn.
Well, true.
This stuff is quick and easy to learn. Really, it's out there. You just have to go to IRS's site and they'll quickly teach you how to do it, right? There you go. Exactly. There you go.
Mastering
exactly.
QuickBooks.
Exactly. It
So,
does it
and
all
at the
for
end of
you.
this, I can take a certification course when I finish this.
And how long does that take?
I mean, I should be able to get through this in another month. I'm halfway through it.
Excellent.
And then I can take my certification.
And you're QuickBooks certified, right? That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that makes you a little more valuable.
Oh yeah. But again, like I said, you want to know about nonprofits, go to the IRS's site and look up how to file nonprofit taxes, and you'll have all the information you need there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, accountancy is definitely free education, no problem.
Yeah.
You can even call them up and they'll give you advice on how to do it. Yeah. Whatever you need to know, you're stuck, you just call them. They're very friendly when it comes to telling you how to do the stuff. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, how to give them their money. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They really do help you. It's amazing. People don't use it as a resource, education. Very cool. Brilliant. All right. So what's been going on inside you? Yeah. And inside your head, your heart, what's been going on? What you been thinking about?
It's just been a lot of trains pulling into the same station. You know what I mean? I feel a little overwhelmed this week. I said to Susie Thursday night, after I couldn't shut my brain off. I think I got 2 hours sleep. I couldn't shut her down. Oh, you like the sound of that? I had to work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know, but still,
yeah.
It gets the ball rolling. Yes, it's a lot, and gets the ball rolling, and then it starts to settle in, and then it filters in, and then we go into it one by one. And slowly, but yes, that initial explosion changes the brain. It's like, man, this stuff is huge. This stuff is cool. This is a big deal. We're not messing about here. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm certainly not messing about, and I feel very I don't know. I feel the change. I feel the shift.
Yeah. Yes, because you've set an intent to start a new journey, a new path.
Yeah.
That's it. You're on a new path. Now it's just a matter of implementing it and doing it and going step in front of step in front of step. That's it,
That's right.
Keeping those intents alive, maintaining them, right?
Right. Yeah.
Very
Very
good.
I mean, and I did reread my intents this weekend. I didn't get a chance this morning, but I did this weekend and Monday when I got home from work, just to keep me there.
Excellent.
But I unfortunately didn't do anything new, but
we
still have a couple of, I think, slides that we did not cover.
Yeah. We can go over, continue on what you already did. The old stuff, it doesn't matter. We were on slide 3 or 5 or something. We can keep going. Yeah, slide 4, the average of 3 and 5.
I don't even know where we were. What shall we do today?
Yeah, that's well. But before we go there, I wanted to ask you something. I don't know, but yeah, we can just continue from slide 4. Oh. So with those intents, that list of intents, maybe something to do, because you're an artist, right? So take those intents, take the core conception and put it into a visual drawing art, something. Okay, let's take impeccability or intent to impeccability or goodness. Just take the word, the concept impeccability, and just draw it so that, or the thing you want to remember, but make a beautiful drawing, painting, art out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well,
look at that expression.
That'd be something I could definitely get into. Yeah.
Yes. Instead of putting your notes and sticking them up on your mirror, put a painting on the wall. Put a painting on the wall of what's really profound, your dictionary of power, those list of intents. We want to do this actually in group with our dictionaries of power, but when we've got the full one, and you're going to do so in the end of the program, we'll come back to this again. But in the meantime, make paintings out of these things that are really, really, really important to you, the stuff that you want to get.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Beena.
You
have to go. All right, no problem, Beena. No problem.
Well, I'm going to miss your session definitely, because I was forward to it, but I have to go. So bye for now.
Goodbye for now, Beena. Thank
See you later,
you.
Beena. See you later. See you later. Beena was like, dang it, I have to go, and it's right in Cheryl's thing. So at least she got to hang out a little bit. So
She'll
Yeah.
listen to it later. She'll
yeah,
hear the
yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So this thing with the visualization, it's really to bring it into your heart and to bring it out of your heart and express it, be there. So it's just another way of emphasizing what it is. Since you're an artist, and we'll love to see what you do. So you're very cool. Very cool. You like that idea?
I do like that idea.
Yeah.
I do like
Can you
that
show us
idea.
any of your art before we get going, by the way?
What's that?
Would you please show us some of your art? Or show me. Susie's seen it, but I haven't seen it. Come on.
Well, I did that
Can't be
piece for
bad.
Susie.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did a gorgeous piece of
Um,
Hercules.
The drawing of Hercules, or the painting of Hercules, right?
Mm-hmm.
that's my dog.
Yeah, look at this. That's isn't that sweet? Come closer.
Yeah.
There's Tucker.
Yeah.
That was my dog.
Wow. Whose dog is that?
Well, you asked in July. That's my Tucker.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
And what's that on the cupboard back there, or whatever that is on the yellow thing?
that's the.
That's one of yours too?
It's a worksheet, but I don't think I've got any paintings in there.
Oh.
I think I took
Oh,
them
is
out.
that a drawing of yours or not?
No.
Oh.
Mm-mm. Now mine have all just been like a lot of sketching and I just did my I want to explore a different kind of art, but here's the latest. If you can see that.
Wow.
That's my grandbaby
Wow.
doggy.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's some real skill there.
Very cute. Very nice job, Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's what I've got so far. I've got some other pieces, but we'll wait for another day for those.
Okay. All right. I want to see them. So the objective here is, to illustrate the beauty, the joy, the moreness, the profoundness, right? That's the idea.
Right.
So,
Right.
there's no format here, obviously. It's just whatever
Right.
works.
Something completely abstract.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
make it pretty, Yeah. So, I mean, imagine since it's a word that's in there, some kind of beautiful calligraphic or whatever, I don't know. You paint it whatever way works for you. But the idea is to connect to the beauty, the moreness, and the magic of it. Yeah. So it's memorable for you. Did you enjoy seeing it? You enjoy putting it up on your wall? What you like, what gives you pleasure? Yeah. Very cool. All right. Let's just keep going on your notes from when you did it the first time. You said you were going to go redo it, but it don't matter. As we do the notes, we can go through it, and we can, you can still connect to how it's different for you now.
Yeah.
So it don't matter. There's value either way. All right. So
okay.
Slide 4.
That's number 8. Then I rewrote this one too. Give me just a second to organize.
Sure, no problem. You all right?
Number 4. I think we did that.
Yeah, we did 4. So we're going to go to 5. The task and exercise there. We did this, I thought. Share in detail your understanding of the relationship between your feelings and beliefs and how they support and reinforce each other.
Right.
Well, maybe it was, so did we do this?
Right.
Can you determine which comes first, the feeling or the belief?
I think I can, but they're individual. I don't think a feeling always comes first.
Correct.
Or a belief always comes first.
But a trick question. Yeah, it's tricky to determine. And, since it's chicken and egg, who knows? Sometimes they come simultaneously.
Yeah. Oh, simultaneously it could be as well. Yeah. But it can happen so quickly and be so profound that belief is established right then and there.
Exactly.
And now there it is.
Exactly. And that's what we're really trying to understand, that it just kind of happens. And it's like the next thing you do, it's just a reality. And it's like, well, it's not. It's not. It's just the self reinforcing of each other. It's not a reality. Yeah.
Yes.
Very
yes.
powerful. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. Very powerful.
So I wrote that in our constant search to make sense out of what we feel and or what we believe caused us to feel that what caused us to feel this way or to believe what we believe, we continue to build on our arsenal of proof. So I look for things to back it up because this is what I believe now, and maybe there's a certain uncertainty underlying, so I look for things to like build on that belief.
Nice.
I look for proof.
Nice.
And I may even manipulate the proof just so it fits my belief.
Exactly. That's very profound awareness. That's really cool. Yep. We do that all the time. We manipulate our beliefs. We manipulate our proofs. Yeah.
So that leads me to, we're on number 7. That would lead me to number 7. How can we ever be
6.
free if we're tied to the opinion of others? That's where we left off.
Oh, okay.
That's where we left off. How can we be at peace with ourselves when people's words affect us so deeply?
Yeah.
You know,
we can't, right?
I mean, even the oh, that was another something new this week. Susie, I didn't give you an update. A family member of my biological father reached out to me.
Oh, wow. No, I haven't heard of this. So yeah, please share. Wow, that's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, but now she ghosted me.
Oh.
We had a nice little chat back and forth, just trying to narrow it down with, I didn't realize how young she was. Her mother is 2 years younger than me.
Oh, wow.
So, and I maybe her mother got upset. I don't know. She reached out to me. We talked about whether it might be her, whether we share grandparents, whether it could be, you know, did your grandfather have any brothers? Did your grandmother have any brothers? Just trying to narrow it down. And she said, well, my mother probably has a lot more information. I'm going to put a call into her and then I'll call you afterwards.
10 to 1, the mother shut us down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
really,
I mean, I know who I am. I'm very close just with the information she gave me. I know what Easton family I'm a member of. I just don't know who Papa is.
Interesting. Oh, you don't know his name?
Yeah, I know his last name. The last name is either Groman or Mays is my father's last name, one or the other. So
oh, well, it's a puzzle. It's an adventure. It'll come. By the way, with the genealogy, as they update their database and more people supply, put in for then they give you the feedback. So it comes over time. The connections get to be made. So.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, it really doesn't matter which one of those men it is because they're all passed.
Yeah, I got you.
So my biological father would have passed. Yeah.
Wow. There is something that was important that I wanted to mention last week when it came up, when you were telling the story about when your parents were arguing, right? When they were fighting. So in that moment as a child, we tend to say, but if this is the way they do it, then this is kind of my fate too, because I'm their child.
Yeah.
It's an assumed, one of those beliefs and feelings that go together, an idea. But if one of them's not your actual parent, well, then that whole idea just collapses right there, doesn't it?
For me, I really kind of wanted it to be the opposite, but I wound up playing it out pretty much same.
But that's the thing. You may play it out because you believe it's like your fate and this is the way it is and I can't help it. It's genetic, whatever. But now you can say to your, primitive brain, which is very primitive, and it makes these kind of assumptions and logics to say, yeah, but sorry, that doesn't apply to me because one of those wasn't my
True. It's really uncomfortable not knowing who I am, more than anything else. I don't want to disrupt anybody's life, point. But it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. So when you say who I am, I'm curious how this is determined by your parents.
Well, because I share blood with somebody I don't know.
I understand, but how does that make you who you are?
I don't know, inherited traits and so forth.
And you feel that those inherited traits really shape you, or can you choose who you are regardless of your inherited traits?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be a good excuse.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough. All right.
Maybe I don't have to own any of my shit. I can just put it all on him.
Yeah, okay. That's a good reason. Well, that's probably why they did.
You see how I know me? That's what I'm doing.
But see now look at the universe helping you out. You can dump it all on them because they're not around to deny it.
That's right. It's all his fault.
There you go. Life is easy. Okay, so now that you, now that you've dumped it and so now that's okay.
It's the difference between dumping and blaming.
That's what's the past, but now you're starting fresh.
Now I have to start fresh, right? Yeah. Now that I've dumped everything on him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's not fair.
Why is it so bad to do it on your own?
I don't know. Sometimes I want to know everything about me, but yet I'm afraid to know everything about me. It kind of scares me a little.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you got the whole day off?
Yeah.
All right. So we got after us, then we got a 2-hour break. I gotta take care of some stuff, but then Erica comes. If you can come back when Erica's on.
Okay.
And then we'll go into a few specific things, particularly on this issue that we're speaking about now. I lost my thread a little bit, but anyway, we'll pick it up. It's very particular. It's something that she's really gone into in detail, and be very cool to get into. Very fun.
Okay.
Yeah. This kind of scariness of you being you, and the challenges involved, and the decisions involved, and choices and stuff like this. They're really fun. They're really fun.
Well, I guess and then perhaps, and I'm surprised you didn't call me on it. That little voice that says I'm not a good person.
Yeah. I don't want to reinforce that. That's fine. I don't want to be bothered with that. You want to believe nonsense? That's
maybe
on you,
there's the scary
I know the truth
part.
that you're a good person, and that's the end of that. So
Yeah.
I
so
know
maybe there's just that little scary part there that.
Yeah. So the thing too that's what I wanted to discuss with Erica is that about good and bad qualities in us. This topic of good and bad qualities. I'm not going to say anymore. She has you're going to hear. It's something we talked a lot about with Erica, but I'm keen for you to hear it from a different source. And it'll be fun for Erica to explain it again also. It's a very big topic, very big deal. So, and how we relate to that and how we deal with it. So,
okay.
very exciting stuff. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. So this thing, how can we be free if we are tied to the opinions of others? We can't, but we might also ask, why are we tied to them in the first place? What's the belief involved that ties
I don't
us?
know. I mean, isn't that like just a part of it is just human nature to want to be approved and praised?
I don't know if it's human nature or just conventional habit, because I can tell you for sure it's not necessarily human nature, because not everybody does that. So it's not inherently human nature, like it's human nature to breathe, right?
Right.
Not everybody's tied to the opinions of others. Even as kids, they couldn't get two hoots about anybody else. They just live their own lives. So it's just habit, it's convention, it's conditioning. Again, it's a belief that we kind of should and supposed to. Just habit. Yeah.
I think we're conditioned from birth to seek approval.
Yes, we are. It's the superiority paradigm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But we can unhook from that. We can choose not to do that, right?
Right. Well,
what about,
it seems to me that if there was an appropriate amount, I probably overdid it with Justin because I got 0 approval, 0 acknowledgement, 0.
Wow. Who's Justin?
Justin, my son.
So how do you mean? You made an effort to get approval from him, or to
give him approval? Yeah, I may have slightly overdid it.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Just because I didn't get any.
But Justin's a marvelous person, no, or not?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he's wonderful.
There you go.
He is
didn't overdo it.
He's wonderful. He is.
He turned out good.
Yeah.
Wow. So
it's amazing.
Right. So let me ask you something really, really profound. We're out there in the void before you start living, right? And you're floating around, you're just this little nothing, and okay. And you say, okay, somebody comes to you, I don't know, angel or whatever, and they say, okay, here's the deal. You can go back and have a life again, but there's kind of conditions. And the conditions is learning and growth. Plus, the conditions is for you to be a mother. Right? That's it. But you want to be a mother. Oh, yeah, I want to be a mother. Okay, what's being a mother mean? Are you willing to really sacrifice for the good of your child?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Think of your life in this context now. What did you just say 2 moments ago with Justin? Why did you overdo it with him?
Oh, with praise and approval.
Why? Why did you overdo it with him? You said
because I got 0 growing up from my parents.
Exactly. So now, when you were making that choice, right, to come into this life, and the angel said to you, "Okay, fine, you got to now choose. You got to choose the circumstances of your birth, and you got to choose the pattern, so that you can get to implement these profound intents of yours. This intent to be a good mother, for instance."
So what is my choice? So
why did you choose those parents?
What?
Well, I'm setting up a hypothetical here in a roundabout way to get to this end result that we are at now and this path, right? But assume that you chose those parents because you needed to learn specific things. Why did you choose them?
I don't know. I wouldn't have chose them.
But assume you did. Assume there's a good reason.
There has to be, right?
Just let's work through it. For instance, you got no approval, which got you to really kind of overdo it with Justin, and he turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
You see the logic here now? What else that wasn't maybe pleasant, but was good and necessary?
I
So
see. I
what were
see.
you
Okay.
forced to
Okay.
learn? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
What soul lessons did you need to learn?
God, I don't know. I'm so blocked today. Where am I blocked?
That's all right. Don't worry about it. All right, let's give a few examples. Your soul really needed to learn that you're not a product of conditioning. You're not something that comes from whatever your parents are. You get to choose for yourself. You may have some tendencies and predispositions, but those are just to get you started. And some of those may be to say, no, I don't want this. And in that act of saying, I don't want it, you're choosing to be deliberate. Yes?
Okay, yes.
Isn't that an incredible lesson? If your soul is stuck over how many ever lifetimes and you believe, well, I'm just a product of my parents, I'm just a product of my parents. That's a really, really deep bad habit that needs to be broken, right?
Right.
So if you're in a
So,
situation where you're seeing so clearly, I don't want to be my parents, I don't want to be my parents.
yeah. So if they'd have been fantastic parents, I might have taken it all for granted and not learned a thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you just might have turned out to be this little clone, slave program robot who doesn't ever think for herself, who doesn't have real free choice, who doesn't truly live unawareness. And what's the difference? You're not really alive then. You just are nothing and you're just going to loop in that same thing forever. Terrible. That's fate worse than death, no?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Wow.
So you said, hell no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose this even if it's going to be rough and tough. I'm talking about my soul here. I'm talking about eternity. One of the lifetimes are nothing. So yeah, I choose this stuff because it's really pressing on me. I need to learn shit.
Yeah. What about even self-acceptance? Self-acceptance, something that your parents didn't give you because they really didn't accept themselves for who they were.
Wow.
So it's pushing you in that direction. And look where you are right now. If it wasn't for them, if they would have taught you that or shared you with that, yes, there's a possibility that you would have taken it for granted, but you'd be in a very, very different place than now because of who you had. But yeah, there's a lot of when you think about it, there's a lot of stuff that good and bad that they gave you.
Yeah.
And you can use that to your advantage either way.
Huge. So take this assumption as an, we're going to start from the premise that you chose the circumstances of your birth, not just your parents, but the whole circumstance, where they live, and you had some way to figure out how, extrapolate and figure it out. But you chose it, and we're just assuming this as a given, which means there were really, really good reasons why you did it. And the task here is to figure out why. It's very helpful. Let me ask you one thing too, or focus on one thing. One of the defining characteristics of Cheryl right now, right? Anybody who kind of knows you is that Cheryl is very, very aware of her nincompoopery.
Yes, I am.
You've developed a really deep, profound self-honesty. Yes?
I own it. No doubt about it.
Right.
I absolutely own it.
And as a consequence of all the crapola that you had in your life, you've had to.
What's that? I had what?
I say it's a consequence of all the crap that you've had in your life. You've had to get to this point.
Yes.
You couldn't live otherwise.
Yes. Right.
So there's a major reason for it all. You see the logic of what I'm heading at. Stuff doesn't just happen randomly. There's a deeper logic to it. There's a moreness reason for it. It's really huge.
Yeah.
Right. If you weren't in a position to be self-honest, we couldn't do this. We couldn't do what we're doing. Not possible. Right?
Right.
You can see how other people who are stuck. Okay. Now the next step is to apply and do. and shift and change. Understanding is only one part of it, memory, knowledge. I can get it, but if I don't apply it, it's meaningless.
Right.
Yes. And it's just,
how do I learn to apply it? How do I do that?
How do you draw a painting? One brushstroke at a time.
Okay.
You don't put your whole painting on the paper, do you?
What's that? I don't put my painting
When you do a painting, do you do it like in one go? Do you just like take your paint and throw it and boom, there's your picture?
No.
Oh, it's one brushstroke at a time. When you make that very first brushstroke,
yeah,
do I know
most
what the
of the
hell
time it's over a period of a few days, maybe a week.
Exactly. I mean, some paintings, the artists take years to do, right?
Yeah.
So my point is, it's still one brushstroke at a time. It can't be any other way, right?
Right.
There you go. That's it. How do I apply? Same thing. One brushstroke at a time.
Yeah.
It builds. And the key to it, though, is if you don't actually put the brushstroke, you might not see the end result. You don't know where you're going. But you build, and I see, and your paintings change sometimes halfway through, right? Oh, and it does, and you paint over and so on. That's the same thing with what you're doing. But the doing is the key part. Just do whatever you do. Just do. No matter how small it is, just do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, intent is an energy of doing. Just you intending to change is already a major step.
Right.
You're putting things in motion that you can't necessarily see for yourself, right?
Right.
Look at your new boss. You have the intent to not work there anymore. Are you getting pressure on yourself? Well, I got, from one AL to a bigger AL, and it's like, well, like you said, the universe is trying to tell you something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How many rectal exams do you want?
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Exactly. It's basically it. Yeah. And he basically came right out and told me that he plans to be 100% involved in my position.
Wow.
Which means I don't know. I said, that almost implies that you're unhappy with what I'm doing.
Which is what's fascinating to me, because if I understand things correctly, you're a really good employee, right? I mean, relative to other employees, you really work well and work hard. So why is he giving you crap?
Unless he wants you to learn from your good habits or your good workings.
Sometimes the universe doesn't make sense. It's giving you crap because it's not the job to be in. The universe is saying, don't do your own thing. You're wasting your time. Yes. Come on.
Well, I can almost see his ego from about 6 miles out, and I think it's just about, he's gonna whip everybody into shape.
Well, you can't be better than him at the job where he's your boss at that job. Right?
Yeah.
So he has to bring you down so that he's superior and he's the boss. And just, we're just chatting to you, and a little bit of interaction quickly sees that nobody's really your boss. You're independent for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just a hierarchy dominance game. That's all. Again, what a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift.
He's throwing his weight around.
Mm-hmm.
And again, choosing do you want to be in an environment like that?
No, I don't. You know what I mean? In a way, it helps me to exercise all the new things I'm learning.
Yes. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's putting me back into these really negative situations. Yeah. How do I handle this? How do I rise above this?
There you go. You want to be free of the opinions of others.
Right.
Because you want to be free, which means you need to be free of the opinions of others. So what a gift the universe is giving you again, giving you a complete AL, a petty tyrant, in other words. Petty tyrants are fantastic gifts to us because they force us to put all of our moreness into application. I'm not going to be bothered by your stuff because I'm my own person. My value as an individual, my job worth has got nothing to do with you. I determine who I am. I determine my job worth, not you. So what a gift, what a gift. Plus it teaches you to be tolerant, to be patient, to be disciplined, to hold your mouth, not jump off the rails, all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-control, self-appreciation, and independence of being.
Self-control. Yeah.
Because it's determining, who is Cheryl? This is your opportunity to prove that. And not let somebody like him or anybody else trigger you to the old Cheryl that, has she really been helpful to you in many, many ways? It's a choice now to say, which direction do I want to go in?
Yeah.
And I mean, seriously, So sorry, say again, Sue?
Yeah, so there's how you handle them. You dig deep into yourself and say, this is who I am. I'm an independent being. I'm an independent thinker. And I know who I am. This is who I'm going to be. And you can't, they don't have any power then when you are yourself.
Exactly.
And it could be a big egomaniac. Who knows? So you don't want to feed into that. You don't want to be complicit to that. And one of the tools to not be is to be yourself, because then you're not tied to someone else and so forth.
Right.
What a gift, Cheryl. What a gift. Yeah.
Many ways.
All right. So Sue.
Yeah.
With Robin, right? We see with Robin how these gifts come on a very regular basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the same thing in Cheryl now too.
Absolutely.
How would we kind of like say it in a sort of an abstract way? What happens when we start to really, really pay attention to things and we intend them? What's the bigger picture result? I know I'm thinking, I'm struggling to put it into words. What I'm trying to say, Cheryl, is that this is part of the program. It happens to everyone. When we start to really get immersed in our learning, the universe conspires to bring us opportunities to practice and implement. You asked that question 2 moments ago. How do I apply this? Well, there you go. You got your new boss.
Yeah.
You're the one who brought up. We were saying get out there, and you said no, but wait a second. This is an opportunity for me to apply. You said it, not us, right?
Yeah.
See what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
This is and this happens to every participant. The magic comes that you can have opportunities to apply.
Sneaks up on you a little bit, doesn't it?
It's incredible. It's incredible. And, like with Sue, we can go back over Sue's notes and you'll see she's got a bunch of stories, the same thing. These magical opportunities that came about where she got to apply, put into practice. So here you go, dealing with your new boss. This is a way for you to apply.
Yeah.
You've learned
very, very
how you put it
very,
into practice. Because if
you
don't apply, I said you've learned new things. Now you put them into practice. Because if you don't start applying them, it's all meaningless. 100% meaningless.
Right.
Think about this, think about that, write this down. But when we don't, and the universe is stepping right up for you, and you'll learn that in a big, big way. It is there for you. And you alone. It conspires to help you. You just always have to be in the awareness to notice it and then put that, apply it to what works for you. It's not working for anybody else. It works for Cheryl. The universe works for me individually. We gotta recognize it.
It's so cool. So cool. Really something special, and it's beyond magical. It's like blows your mind after a while how custom this is. It's for you.
It's strange too, because I get to a place here right now that when I'm out in my everyday life, I'm not there. But I want to be. I guess I just need to practice.
Absolutely. And
you know what I mean? When I walk away from this computer, my world becomes black and white again.
Yeah.
And I want the colors and I want the gray and I want the in-betweens.
Yeah. Just applications, all just application. So when you step away from the computer, just apply this new mindset. Sorry, I'm making a noise in my bag here. Give me 1 second.
That's all right. It doesn't bother me.
So
I'm not offended by your bagels.
Just so in love with them, and I get hungry this time,
Yeah, that's okay. Take your nourishment.
Yeah. I was saying that, when you step away from it, say, okay, how do I apply what we were talking about and my mindset in my everyday life? How do I really shift into this mindset to not see it as every day, but
that's
to
my
see
challenge.
That is a challenge. That's a very profound, magical, very cool challenge. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Keeping the awareness there, Cheryl, and at all times, and asking that simple question will trigger you to think about it. Is what am I doing? Yeah. What am I doing? It's just a few strong words that really trigger you back and going, oh, okay. Even walking into work, what am I doing here? What's your intent? Think about those kind of things. And you choose your day, not let other people choose your day. You are in charge of you. You can make the intent to focus on applying or focus on something special, but make an intent. That's how you start to use all this stuff on a daily basis. It shows up. It's there all the time. The more you understand it, the more you do it, the more innate it will become. But you have to start applying it.
Would you say that what we do in here is we get really focused on the abstract? Right?
Yes.
Right. So look at your job, which you did. You said, well, maybe it's a chance for me to apply. Well, that's an abstract perspective. Okay. So just shift to say, what am I looking to apply in the abstract? What am I doing here? Am I here to slice ham and cheese? Or am I here to practice self-assurance, or to practice self-acceptance, to practice self-awareness, to practice diligence, to practice appropriateness, to practice tolerance, to practice not being offended and affected by the opinions of others, whatever. See?
Mm-hmm.
That list of your intents. That's what you're going to work to do. You're going to work to practice, not to slice meat or whatever. You're going to work to practice. Energy management, impeccability. Oh, what an opportunity to practice. Yeah.
Energy management.
Yeah. Mood
well,
management.
if you're offended or bothered by other people, that's poor use of your energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a terrible use of your energy. So if you think of every single action in that, appropriateness, energy management, it changes everything. Yeah.
Right.
And on the converse, Cheryl, using this same logic when you're getting ready to open up your new business and even the dealings with Justin, you have that opportunity. It is, the door has already opened because you are practicing accounting. And that's, am I being impeccable? Am I full of integrity here today? All those things that were on your list of intents. It doesn't matter if my point is in that crap job with the bosses, you're going to be learning stuff, or where you want to be in your new job. Either way, you have the ability to learn and to apply in both cases, in both scenarios.
Okay. So I need to question what each situation is trying to teach me, right?
Absolutely. And what you can apply, not just trying to teach you, but what's the opportunity for application? You already know what you want to apply. You've got that whole list of intents. So yes, it's going to teach you, but what it's teaching you is the opportunity to practice, to apply, to put it into application. So you can think of your job as being a blank canvas, really.
Okay.
Right? You're gonna apply all of those things on your lists, all those lists, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the new boss is the clean the clean canvas. Real technique.
The whole environment is, yeah.
Yeah. You
How
can
cool
make
is that?
It just seems like such a challenge. Like, I don't know.
Has Cheryl ever shrunk from challenges?
No, I always put myself right in the middle of them.
Exactly. If you didn't have a challenge, you're gonna go, yeah, big deal. It's just a piece of
No,
cake.
this is
This is
boring.
easy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You like challenges. You thrive on challenges. You kind of need them, no?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So
we can learn to have fun and play with the challenge. Have fun with the challenges and play with the challenges. Just like the one woman, Donna, now she finds vacuuming and mundane things joyful and playful because you're in a different space. So as much as you despise going to work some days, find the joy in it, because there is joy in some way. You just have to choose to look.
Use your stubbornness, in other words. Use it, leverage it. Say, I stubbornly insist, I'm going to take pride in getting value out of this, using it for me, to get stuff for me. You, boss, and whatever you are, that's it, Plus your own impeccability, from what I understand, if you said, accomplishment is really important today, to you, right? So if you go into that job and say, what did I accomplish today? Did I, for instance, practice my patience? What did I accomplish patience today? Just that one thing, right? Okay. Wow. Okay. Until you really got patience. And did I do it? What about power pausing? Somebody comes and they took a lot of crap, and did I just jump at them and say, or did I pause a little bit, and was I thoughtful about it and just kind of, that's it, practicing power pause. Did I then choose to respond, or did I just react? Right? That's the whole point of power pause. Yeah. That's it. One thing, just one thing. And you go home. Yes, I accomplished power pausing. I accomplished patience. I accomplished self-acceptance. Whatever it is, there's a zillion things to do. Really, really, really profoundly potent. Really, really transformative stuff, Cheryl.
You've got a lot of practicing with Greg in and of itself when you get to see him. Really, there's a lot to practice in that regard.
Yeah. I notice. Okay, so I'm going to be cautiously optimistic here. I notice a change in him.
Yeah.
It takes time.
I just don't know if it'll stick. So cautiously optimistic.
Trust suspiciously sometimes, but trust.
Okay. Well,
you're changing. How it's hard because people's attitudes and moods cue us and affect us. So how could he possibly be anything other than different, because you are?
Yeah.
Well, you're changing, and you're not changing immediately, all in one go either.
Right.
It can't actually work that way. If all of these things suddenly you shifted to, you wouldn't have a chance and an opportunity to own each individual change. You got to own it, make it your own for it to be real, yes?
Yeah.
Well, same thing for him.
Yeah.
You're on a journey together. Yeah. Why is your trust so important?
Why is trust so important?
Why is your trust so important?
My trust.
Yeah, specifically with Greg in this instance. Or with anybody, really. Well, let's just take it with Greg.
Because if I make myself open and vulnerable to you, I want to know that I can trust you with that. I want to know that, you'll be deliberate in appreciating it and treating it with care.
Now, if you don't trust him, what is that cue in him? Feeling and belief. Same logic, right? Reinforcing circles.
Yeah.
You see? When you get treated with somebody comes and they don't trust you, then you might take it on yourself to say, well, if I'm not trustworthy, then you kind of behave in a non-trustworthy way. It doesn't really make sense in one way, but it makes a profound sense in another way. People tend to respond relative to how you cue them because they want to make you happy. That's what you want. Okay, I'm going to give you what you want. I kind of short-circuited things because this is a big topic, queuing. Huge topic. And I saw this when I was at school. You know, we'd get canings at school. Some of the kids, canings.
Canings. Wow. Beatings.
Like a bamboo, it's like a bamboo rod, and you know, that's it. Spare the rod, spoil the child. That was the whole nonsense, right? At any rate, some of those boys got every single day they got a cane. Every single day. It really was a puzzle for me. Anyway, so there's a big thing that happened between a girl and me where I cued her, but I want to go into the whole story. Just want to say with these boys, because they were treated from, you're a troublemaker, you're a fuck up, you're a screw up. That was the cueing that they got. And they behaved according to that because this is what I'm supposed to do. So what does a fuck up? What does a screw up do? They cause trouble. They do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible how you would think, but you're the one who's getting the caning. It didn't matter. They went in for that. Cueing was so potent. It's unbelievable how potent it is. So when we become aware of that, you got to realize that, you know, if I'm the one who's doing the cueing, it's just a profound responsibility and it changes our lives. Just a simple awareness. And then two, to say, how am I being cued by things externally? It's this understanding of cueing is a huge step on the path to freedom. Massive big deal. Incredibly big deal. Yeah. So, you know, don't cue Greg to treat you with distrust or be distrustworthy. You know, be untrustworthy because you're cueing that. Yes, it's a bit of a blind trust and it's a risk involved, but that's what vulnerability is all about, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I mean,
go ahead.
I feel like throughout our relationship, it's gone back and forth. Like I give him my trust and I take it back. That's probably not good.
Well.
He does something, he tells me a lie or does something, and now I don't trust you anymore. Now you're untrustworthy. Now you're a pathological liar. Why do you lie about things that don't matter? Lie. Everything you say is a lie.
Right.
See, then I go there. And am I turning him into a liar?
You're cueing him to do that.
It's not entirely on you, but you do have to realize that you are an influential person. Not entirely on you. It's not entirely on you, but certainly are responsible for it, absolutely, or some part of it, absolutely. But it's not entirely on you. In the same way, the stuff that your parents and your teachers said to you or about you or by implication, they don't force you to be that way. You don't have to accept their nonsense, right?
Right.
So cueing does affect others, but it doesn't need to affect them. Same way as cueing from others affects me, but it doesn't need to. I could say, no, thank you very much. I'm not going to be cued by you. I'm my own person. You can think what you like. You can think I'm untrustworthy, but I'm not. And I'll show you I'm not. I don't care if you think it or not either. But if I did care, then I would make sure that you really saw the error of your ways.
Yeah.
Cueing is a very, very big deal because it brings all sorts of ethical issues into play.
Yeah. So your influence to other people, you have to take some of that responsibility of what you cue.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
vice versa.
that's huge. That's a big responsibility.
It's huge. It's very huge. It's very, very huge.
You know, and
Yeah.
you know, am I going to wind up creating that which I would do anything to
Exactly. Exactly, Cheryl. Exactly.
basically, you know, destroy or get rid of?
Mhm.
And I may be creating exactly what I don't want.
Yep. Yep.
There's a
Yep.
great thing for you to apply. You know, put that in the intent to appropriately cue
Yep.
others and or yourself, because it works both ways. And cue
Yep.
yourself.
It's a very big deal, Cheryl. It's a very, very big deal. You know, we've got that whole hearing and helping program that we do,
Yeah.
and impeccability and integrity, and it all goes to this. So when we get like sharing, you know, share, don't tell. I mean, that's a whole philosophy in itself. Why? One of the reasons why sharing is so absolutely necessary, because I can't ethically justify telling, because I'm cueing people, even in my sharing. So the only thing I can really share freely is choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's amazing when you start to treat people the way you want them to be, even if they're not that. In other words, when you take the goodness and you focus only on that and you ignore all the rest of the crap. Yeah. This is transformative, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's almost exactly the opposite of how I thought the world worked.
Exactly.
It's really the opposite.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Please put in your dictionary of power. The world does not work the way we think it does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also philosophy of opposite as a thing in itself. Philosophy of opposite is really incredible. Most of the world is pretty opposite to what we think.
Yeah. In direct opposition. Yeah,
it's
to what I.
It's not always directly opposite, but sometimes it is. You know, you take conventional wisdom, turn it upside down, and you get some value somewhere. It's not always exactly opposite, but it's close to it somewhere. So philosophy of opposite says, you know, it's a mechanism for perspective shifting and looking at things differently. You know, so it's like on your boss. You know, I mean, he's the opposite of being an AL. He's a gift. I'm not 100%. He's still an AL, so it's not exactly opposite, but still. You see, it's kind of both, right?
Yeah.
This queuing, I cannot emphasize just how much of a big deal queuing is. It's beyond a huge deal. It's a very, very massive deal. Really, really big deal. Very, very big deal. Very big deal. And it's also the power of attention. What we place attention on happens. That's why for all the participants, they're paying attention on something that they want to work on, that they a new understanding, a new awareness. And that attention creates the reality around them where they have an opportunity to apply it. Like you said with your boss. It's an incredible thing, attention. It's a force. It's what it's all about, you know. So what we pay attention to tends to be our reality.
Okay.
Or at least to some measure, you know. It's not 100% because we're in a collaboration with other people. So, you know, it's not like we can just do this all on our own. It's a collaboration, but nonetheless, it's a very, very powerful thing. And when you start paying attention, like you say, where do I start with the application? Just start by paying attention to what you're paying attention to.
Okay.
I really mean it. Attention to attention. It's a very big deal. You know, you put that in the dictionary of power exactly like that. You know, pay attention to attention itself. It's a huge deal.
Pay attention
to attention itself. Wow.
Yeah.
Your attention is a power, in other words. It's not just this random little thing. It's a very big deal. I mean, if you were like with Robin's session on yesterday, the whole session was just about the magic that comes into her life, in terms of application, in terms of opportunity to practice. I was like, wow, like mind blow. And then more came again, and the same thing, and more. It's like, it's just too incredible. When we start realizing that there's these things in our lives, which are these profound gifts, like your new boss. Try queuing on him and see what happens.
Huh.
I mean, do you maybe queue to be treated as a troublemaker?
No, but
or potential.
There is no, not a troublemaker, but I cue that I'm difficult.
Or that you're independent, and then you're not going to take any shit, and that you got a brain
That's
in your
kind
head,
of it,
etc., etc., etc. Right. You see my point, though? Queuing can be very subtle. So we put stuff out. It's really incredible. It's really, really incredible. It's a very, very amazing power. Attention
the boss, the outgoing boss, when she stopped to say goodbye, she goes, you know what, Cheryl, I just wanted to tell you that one thing that she remembers about me was in the very beginning, I was having trouble with somebody who was being aggressive towards me. And I said, you know, if you want to put your stick in my cage, you just be damn sure that's what you want to do, because you're probably not getting it back. She said, I'll never forget that. She goes, I looked at you, I thought you were the scariest woman on the planet.
Exactly. You're intimidating, Cheryl.
Yeah.
And I bet you never thought of yourself
as being
intimidating.
There's the word. Intimidating. I am, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah, you can be. You don't have to be. You can be. You use it as a defense mechanism. You're not meaning to be intimidating. You're not a bully. You're just using it as a really profound defense mechanism, right?
Yeah.
But you feel you're the animal in the cage.
Right.
Right. But we, on the outside of the cage, that lion or the panther or the tiger can't do anything to me, but I'm still intimidated by it.
That's right. That's right. That lion or tiger inside that cage won't hurt you unless you get too close.
Exactly.
And then you're going to get
hurt. You don't need to be a caged marvelous. You can be uncaged.
Why do I feel caged? I guess I do. I do see myself that way.
Yeah. Again,
I want out.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You cue yourself. Yeah. Well, you may feel I need to be in the cage because if I'm out in the cage and you poke a stick at me, all I'm mauling is the stick. But if I'm outside the cage and you poke me, well, then I'm going to maul you too. Is that really true, though?
Yeah.
Does it have to be true?
No.
Exactly.
It's definitely a defense mechanism.
Exactly.
You know, I'm the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
Until you put your stick in my cage and rattle my cage.
Right. But you can be a different nice person. Right? Yeah. I mean, some animals, when you kind of mess with them, they attack you. But others, they just go around you and they say, cheers, I don't want to mess with you. And they just go elsewhere.
I want to be the animal that just ignores you when you put your stick in my cage. I just want to watch that roll off.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's use a nice analogy here. Right, king of the jungle is the lion, right?
Yes.
Why? Why is the lion the king of the jungle? Only because the lion's got a big fat ego. Exactly. So lion is hanging about, all king, and he's holding court, and all the other lions are bowing down to him and all the animals. Here comes elephant. Elephant's kind of in a bit of a, daydreaming mode, and he's just walking along, and he doesn't quite notice the lion in his court, and he's head straight for them. And he's just like, and he just keeps on walking. What does lion and all his court and everything do? Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Be an elephant, in other words.
Be an elephant.
Just do your thing. Lion is in his head, he's king of the jungle. But when you're going along on your path doing your own thing, the lion gets the hell out of the way. He's not going to get chomped on, right?
Right, right.
Elephant don't care two hoots for lions, king of the jungle nonsense and all this. It's like, yeah, whatever, it just does its own thing. If you happen to be in my way, well, okay, you get out of the way. He's not trying to bully lion, he's just doing his own thing, right? If lion happens to get in the way, well, get out of the way. But the lion, elephant don't have to be aggressive,
I see. I see.
Yeah, it just is. Elephant's just being an elephant. That's it. Still. And when lion sees elephant, he don't even try and mess with elephant. It's no point. It's totally ridiculous to do so.
Okay.
Tucker was an elephant. Tucker was an elephant. Her Tucker was like an elephant. He just kind of did his thing and was around, and he was a big boy,
Oh, he was a literal elephant too. How interesting. Wow.
And he just, again, he never had to come off despite his size and his obvious power that was behind by how he looked. But he didn't have to have that lion attitude with all that ego.
Exactly.
He just had fun and, he was joyful.
Yeah.
He was an elephant mentality that just.
Right. So who's Tucker? I'm curious now.
Tucker is her dog. That picture. That she.
The dog. Brilliant.
He was a boxer.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's why we have pets. They teach us so much.
He had a lot of very human-like qualities and very human-like personality. It's very interesting, some of his ways.
Wow.
He was a cool dog. He used to sit in the truck with Greg, sit up on his backside like he was a person. It was the funniest thing to ever see him pull up on a job
site. The boxers do that. Yeah.
They just sit there. And I think one time Greg put sunglasses on him because I think we have a picture or something of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody posted one the other day of a boxer sitting on a couch.
That was me.
Right. I said to you, when you accidentally download your consciousness into a dog, right? It's like, what happened? I didn't mean to. I was supposed to be in a human body. I got into the dog instead.
That was
you. Is that Tucker?
No, but that was his. He looked like that dog. Yeah, he had a. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, so that was Tucker's spirit animal.
Yeah.
Take that analogy with the lions even further. To be a lion, people, I want to be a lion. Not me, thank you very much. No, you can keep that. I don't know, definitely don't want to be no lion. What's the life of a lion? They're always fighting with each other for hierarchy and dominance.
Once you get to the top, you got to stay at the top.
Right, exactly. And everybody's trying to take you down. Even worse, the lions are always fighting with the hyenas. And there's perpetual battles with the hyenas, and sometimes the hyenas even wipe them out. They don't always win against the hyenas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So much for king of the jungle, Who bothers the elephant? Elephant just does its own thing, Much
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only humans.
Exactly. And elephants are matriarchal societies too, by the way. Just an extra little cherry on top there. Just we take the analogy. It breaks down. There's a bit of hierarchy in them because, the guys are knuckleheads. So they have hierarchy, and but really, it's a matriarchal society. It's very cool. Very cool. Wow. That's something to paint also, maybe. Cheryl, like a spirit animal, elephant, like a fantastical thing, representation of Cheryl as an elephant.
Your spirit animal.
Very cool. Like a spirit animal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They make it all fantastical and put all the symbols and stuff in there and make it all woo-woo and airy-fairy and whatever, but it's cool. It's beautiful. And just to represent that idea is really, elephants to me here are representing independence of being. Yes?
Yes.
What's it?
I just want to make a note here.
Mm. Yum, 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 yum. The main thing, the main key point here is Cheryl can. If I could paint, that's what I would paint right now. Cheryl can.
Cheryl can.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I hope Cheryl is aware of. It is that Cheryl can. And Cheryl told me that. It's not my idea. I heard this from Cheryl. Didn't Cheryl say that very clearly? She said, what? I am able. In other words, Cheryl can. I think responsibility scares the crap out of you sometimes, yeah?
Well, failure scares the hell out of me.
Nah, thank you. I'm getting there in a roundabout way, precisely.
So,
failure
thereby,
or fucking
commitment scares the hell out of me.
Right. Is it failure or fucking up? The difference.
I mean, it's just not achieving what I set out to do. It's a non-achievement
some
kind
people
of a
don't
thing.
mind to fail, but they don't want to fuck up because they don't want to affect and hurt others.
I'm not afraid of fucking up. Not anymore.
All right.
Used to be.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the problem then? There isn't any really, yeah?
I hate feeling like I did not accomplish what I set out to do, or I can't stand that. That makes me run. So does that then maybe inhibit you from taking on big projects? Yeah, absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a weakness. No doubt about it. It's something I would like to strengthen. I would like to shift. Strengthen my, my fear of, failure.
Okay. I have a suggestion for you. Well, likely you're going to say, what? So don't take on big projects. Don't. So how does that make sense now? Doesn't it kind of go against everything?
Well, how am I ever going to get anywhere?
One brushstroke at a time. Don't take on a big project. Take on one brushstroke at a time. Shift your mind to say, I'm not making a huge, great big mural here, painting the side of a barn. I'm doing one brushstroke. And then again, I'm going to do another brushstroke and another. I'm not doing a big project. I'm doing a bunch of little ones. Okay. Where's the fear of failure? Where's the fear of accomplishment? I'm accomplishing my brushstroke every single time I make the brushstroke. Accomplishment. See? Use a bit of trickery with yourself. Do a bunch of little things and get your accomplishment from each little task. And just keep doing that. Instead of learning to be patient, which is a big task, say, was I a little more patient today than I was yesterday? the end of the day, at the end of your work, did I accomplish improving my patience? Hell yes. I was a little more patient. Was I patient in itself? Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking to accomplish patience. I'm looking to accomplish a little more patience.
Okay.
So do all your tasks like this. Forget big projects. Do them all in little bits. Incremental change, incremental change, incremental change. Yeah.
Okay.
That's easy. There's no stress to that, right?
Right.
And you like accomplishing. So say, okay, yes, I'm going to do a little bit more. And yesterday I did. I saw it. I was a little bit more patient. Wow, today I'm going to even be a little bit more. And very soon you're going to find yourself and say, wow, you know what? I actually can say, and it's not that I'm less impatient or a little bit more patient, but I actually am patient now. Wow, cool. Okay, it'll sneak up on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just leverage yourself, in other words. So I'm using strategy here, right? Knowing yourself, using that strategy. Yeah.
And think about your work and what you want to accomplish for your new job. Even the Quicken certification, the QuickBooks certifications. Again, that can be a monstrous task to a lot of people. But if you okay, I'm going to accomplish spending an hour a day on it, and it's very possible and accomplishable, and then you feel good. Then you go to the next hour when you're able, or the next chapter, or however you want to break that down. We had somebody on a little while back who was putting together a community for autistic kids, knowing she was a mother of an autistic child who knew that her son was going to outlive her. So trying to build this community, and it's overwhelming to think that you're going to try to do something that's that big. So when she came on, it was really fascinating how she was able then to kind of really think about it and break things down and say, oh, okay, I need proper contacts. I need, a direction. I need a city. I need a place where I want this to happen in. Do I need a team? And you do these things one at a time, and then it all starts to happen. Otherwise, most people, it's completely overwhelming.
Yeah.
You're already an artist. Yeah. One brushstroke. Just use that analogy because you understand it, right?
Right.
You paint, and you paint pretty quickly too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Once I'm involved in it, I'm involved in it.
Right. And so the technique that I'm using is just relabeling. Oh, I'm scared of taking on big projects. Well, don't. Do a bunch of little projects, and they'll turn into a big project. Okay. Use it. We just leverage ourselves. And sometimes all it takes is just to relabel something. Take the unknown. So you say the unknown to most people, oh, scary. It's like the most scary thing ever. Relabel it to moreness. Ah, cool. Moreness, there's more for me. Suddenly I'm all excited about it. It's the same damn thing.
Right. And most of the time, too, once I get into it, there was really nothing to be afraid of.
Exactly.
Once I get into it, I'm all in. Exactly. And there was nothing to be afraid of. Exactly. But yet I still feel like that's like something holds me back.
Yeah.
From making a huge commitment.
Yeah. But you don't need to make huge commitments. There's no need for it. And things change too, so it's like trying to set that course from New York to London. I can't set it exactly, but I'm going to make little micro adjustments all along my course. And if you actually plot it on, you see the GPS, it's all over the show, it's zigzagging there, but you get there. You got to adjust. You got to keep on adjusting because life changes. You got currents and winds and God knows what, all icebergs and, whales you got to sail around or whatever,
And there are icebergs and whales and things in life that you have to navigate around.
Right. Sargasso.
Sargasso, what's that?
It's a weed that grows in the sea, and it's a big place in the oceans called the Sargasso Sea, where it's very prominent and thick. And in the old days, you could get stuck in there, and that's it. Now we're the end of you. There's like a sea grass that grows. I mean, you might think you're in the prairies or something. It's really wild.
What if I get stuck in the grass?
Right. Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah. Well, then you just put your engines on full. Today we don't have sailboats anymore. We got engines, so it's all different logic. Yeah. Besides, you got helicopters you can call in. Exactly. You know, we got helicopter rescue and all sorts of stuff now. There's submarines and all. You know, it's not the same old world of sail ships anymore. You got other options. Yeah. Well, again, you know, it's when there wasn't a lot of wind. You know, if they got becalmed in the Sargasso, then you get stuck. You know, they might get stuck for too long and they run out of food and stuff. You know, so well, it wasn't necessarily that you could never get out.
Yeah. But it's about strategy and being preemptive as to what is coming ahead. It's when when we're not paying attention, when we're not in our own awareness, boom, shit hits us in the face.
Yeah.
If you can see trouble before it sees you, it's easy to get out of the way. Yeah,
that's true.
So we want to again attention. Put your attention just to anticipating a little bit of what's going
historically, I didn't see trouble before it saw me.
Yes, I know.
Historically, that was not the case.
Yep. Welcome to the club.
Because you were not in your awareness.
Yeah.
If you were, it would have turned out differently.
You know, I mean, all of us, we say the same thing, right, Sue?
Yeah.
Right?
It's just like I say, welcome to the club. You know, it's just
woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't.
Yeah, but that makes us realize now how important anticipation is and strategy is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see the detriments. If you never saw it, you probably never know how important it is. So it's all valuable. Just use it, leverage it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love this. It's very exciting stuff, Cheryl. Very exciting stuff. Yeah. So the thing is, you know, you're an artist, but you can live artistically too.
Bye.
Yeah. It's not just painting. You can live artistically. See life as a romance. See it as a canvas. See it as brushstroke by brushstroke, etc. I'm using this analogy as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a lovely way to live.
Yeah, you go on a. Yeah, you go on.
Seems a bit of a lofty dream for me. I don't know.
Why?
Day trip with Greg, and it's an open canvas for the day. You don't know where you're going. You stop here at this road stand and there's a stroke. There's a couple strokes in there, you know, and then you go.
That's the way we used to be. I don't know what happened.
So it's not impossible. I'll tell you what happened. Insecurity happened. You know, queuing happened. You know, accumulation of bad habits happened. Unawareness happened. And overemphasis of the negative relative to the positive. The more you emphasized it, the more that became the reality, and then it took over. Just start reversing the process. No matter how crap you being or how crap Greg is being, emphasize the positive and keep doing that. And slowly but surely, you're going to rebuild this thing. It's as simple as that. Insist on finding the good and paying attention to only that good. Yes, you know the crap is there, but you're de-emphasizing it. And you're taking that 1% of good or whatever percentage, and that becomes your world. You start treating people like that, they are going to make every effort they possibly can to live up to that perception of goodness in them from you.
Wow.
It's fabulous when you act like that, live like that, talk like that. They don't really have a choice. You cue them. It's almost an ethical thing in so many ways. It leverages them to be better, to talk better. So think about it. If you at people, they're going to at you back. But if you talk to them with integrity and respect and compassion and consideration.
Like the new boss.
That's exactly.
Treat boss as a pussycat and see what happens. Treat him as a nice guy, see what happens. Find something nice in him.
Doesn't that seem disingenuous?
It
because
does,
inside
but you
I'm
gotta
going,
genuinely find something.
This guy
I know, but that's now. This is the challenge. This is where the art of it comes into. You have to genuinely find something good in
I
your
knew
new
you
boss?
were going to say that.
All right, Cheryl, hang on a second. Let's get, I mean, let's take it in the reverse. Okay. What about your boss' perception of you?
Ooh.
Mhm.
Probably not good.
And suddenly
'cause
Sue
left
and I are in this conversation with Cheryl's new boss. And boss man says, that's Cheryl. Oh man, this is a piece of work over here. Man, she's just like something else. She's just dreadful. And she's so full of trouble. She's this, she's that. And I say, okay, change it now. Find the one good thing. And Cheryl pipes up from the, what do you mean find one good thing? I got a zillion good things about me. It's not that hard to find something good.
True.
But he might not be seeing it.
Mm.
Is he trying to be a good boss in his own stupid way? But
Probably,
seriously,
yes.
is he trying?
I mean, probably yes.
Yeah, he's not trying to be a bad boss, right?
Certainly, yeah. No. What would be the
He's not
sense in that?
deliberately trying to be a slack uncared. He's trying to do his job as best he thinks he is. He's trying to be a good boss. So that's a good thing. To him, being a good boss is important. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You're appreciating that he's got some, integrity and goodness and sensibility and doing his job properly is important to him. That's a very good thing, isn't it? That's integrity.
Yeah.
It's not much different to Cheryl.
Well, yeah. I mean, that, like you said, I've got to find something about him that
you're going to see a lot of Cheryl in your boss. Just you watch.
Yeah.
Cheryl is defensive because she's a bit insecure about herself.
Yeah.
How's your boss any different?
Yeah, true.
He's just preemptively aggressive because he's a boss. He's just got a different technique. It's no different to yours. Don't come and mess with me. Don't poke the stick in my cage. It's the same thing. He's doing the same thing in the abstract, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's being preemptively defensive. Yeah.
Mm.
If you treat your boss a lot like Cheryl, you're gonna say, "Wow, he's a lot like me." Okay, well, it's a lot of good in me. There's a hell of a lot of good in me. Okay, well, boss, I start loving you now, despite all the crap. See you. Because I see you. I see you as my goodness. Yes, it's inappropriately applied. So what? I see your goodness. I can love you now.
It's easy to find people's faults. It's about finding their moreness and their goodness.
Exactly.
That's everything.
Exactly. Just think of your boss as a variation of you. How many people think you're an AL sometimes? What? Never. Brilliant. I'm just saying, it's not a fun thought, but sometimes we behave in ways we're just protecting ourselves, but somebody else doesn't see it that way. It's just perception, and we're inappropriately trying to be good, really.
Yeah.
This is a big deal, it's a big deal. Now you're going to come at your boss with a whole different perspective, yeah?
Absolutely.
You got some compassion for him.
I do.
Now, do you understand why we love you?
Of course.
Exactly. It's duh. I mean, yes, you're not displaying that behavior with us because we haven't created that environment for it. Right?
Okay.
You can be your real you here. You don't need to be defensive. You don't need to, fronting anything. You can just be your real you. Right? But we went directly there. We didn't focus on your negative. We didn't try and fix you. We didn't protect ourselves again. No, we didn't even go anywhere close to that. We just simply went right into Mona Cheryl. That's it. Bing. There you go. It is a skill. It does take practice, but it can be learned. It just takes practice. It takes an intent. Mostly. Yep. And that intent is a noble intent.
Mm-hmm.
right? In my Sankarat, I said that intent is a noble intent. In other words, if I'm going to, you're an AO and you're in the habit of being an AO, and I'm going to insist on seeing your moreness and insist on focusing on your goodness and your moreness only and ignoring the rest, I'm going to have to make a bit of an effort to keep that up, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
de-emphasize your
Absolutely,
nonsense.
especially when there's, there's aggression involved as well.
Exactly. I'm taking on a hell of a task. This is a challenge. I mean, this is something that's just not for anybody. This is only for people who really have moreness to them in a particular way. You got to be willing to make that effort of compassion, of nobleness. In other words, it's bonus goodness. That's what defines nobleness. It's what beyond ethics even. I don't have to do it. I do it by choice. It's bonus goodness. That's what nobleness is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you. That's your soul. You just don't know how to do it. So you get lost and it's, it pressures you a lot. You just realize who you are and what you are.
Yeah, and the power that you have is tremendous. And it's the choice to say, how do I want to use that power in this world?
Right.
For the good or for the bad.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of power in you and you know it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing with responsibility.
So good use of my energy.
Yep.
Yes.
Power.
Yes. Yeah. Realize that you are a powerful person in the story. So when it comes to queuing, right? Most people in life go around being queued. A few because they have some measure of independence and they have power. And if they queue, whether they know it or not, well, you're one of those people that queue. Whether you know it or not, whether you're doing it deliberately or not, you go around queuing. Just how it is.
No.
Shrinking violet, right?
No.
Right.
And I do try. I do try sometimes. I do.
No, I believe you. That's why I'm laughing, because it's a tough job. It's a tough job to be that when it's against you. It's a very fantastic job to really try to do that. If you can succeed, this is a great accomplishment. It really is. To absolutely just kind of shut down all of that and just take it out of the equation and just basically be silent, be nothing. You're not making yourself negative, but you're just taking yourself out of it. This is a profound skill. This is a profound skill. It's the whole skill of hearing people really and making space for them is take yourself out of the equation.
That's right.
But at the same token, think of people's psychology from inside their psychology. And think of somebody who is completely in the, I've got to, they're looking at others for how to be, right? They see Cheryl come along and they see an elephant. Cheryl might not feel like an elephant, but that's what they see. They see an independent person or somebody who's basically at least got enough of their shit together to be their own person, right? So they look at Cheryl and say, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, that's how you behave. And they copy you. They imitate you. Simply for no other reason than here's somebody who kind of, is behaving as if they kind of know what's going on. Whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. It appears so because you think that you do in your own mind. You're not going about saying, I've got to do this by you and, I'm obedient and I just got to listen to the world and all this shit, right?
No.
That makes you profoundly different from the great majority of people, no? You never were the sheep, ever.
Yeah.
You may have acted like
one. I think it would have been helpful, though. I think it would have been helpful to understand people better if I didn't suck up all the energy in the room.
Why?
Maybe just because you can't learn if your lips are moving, right?
Yeah. Not all sheep are sheep, by the way.
What's that?
I mean, you actually not all sheep are sheep. If you look at a flock of sheep and they're moving about, they are following one sheep.
Okay.
So not all sheep are sheep. Not all sheep are followers, in other words.
I get it.
Yeah. It's amazing. So you're not a typical sheep, in other words. You never were a sheep.
Well, that's good. I think that's probably a good thing.
Ah, it's fantastic. It's what at some point everybody has to be that non-sheep, because otherwise you'll never be real.
Right.
You got to take your own path. You've got to say, I'm the one who's going to choose where I want to go. Yes. Okay, I might follow the herd because it's safer, but I'm choosing to do so. I'm not just doing so because I have to. And that's the, the sheep that run over the cliff or go into the slaughter yard or whatever. No, you're the one that says, okay, I was following you guys as long as it was good and there was food and safety and all that, but going in there, now thank you, you're on your own now. Yes. Yeah. Choice. Deliberateness, right? Deliberate choice. Really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah. I'm just saying, all I'm trying to share with you, Cheryl, is just appreciating that I can.
Yes.
That's the debilitating idea. Somewhere along the way, that idea took a bit hold that I can't. It's something else. It's other reasons. It's this. Who knows? Whatever, right? But you can. Right. You can do what the hell you want.
I can.
You have the power to do little things. And if you got the power to do little things, you can do big things, because all big things are an accumulation of little things. Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
But you can do little things. There are other people who cannot. They are absolutely incapable of any kind of independence of being an independent action. Yeah.
Well, out of necessity, I mean, I feel that it's a necessity for me to know the whys and the hows of who I am.
Yes. I thought you meant it's a necessity for the people to be sheep. For some of them, yes, sadly. It's how they survive, by being the sheep, because they've been taught the moment you poke your head up and get smacked. So you just keep your head down and you're a complete obedient sheep that doesn't think for itself. Sadly, this is a default, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I took your necessity on the other side, but yes, both sides, it's a necessity. Absolutely. Yeah. Or can be. So, I have a lot of compassion for people who are in that mode. They don't have to be, but they get stuck there. But, so.
They get stuck in the sheep mode?
Yeah. That survival, that don't stick your head up mode. Don't be special. Don't be different. Don't stand out. Yeah.
But then nothing wonderful ever happens, right?
Exactly. By a sheep. Yeah.
You can look at some of your friends or people that you.
I wouldn't be here today talking to you if I didn't aspire for more.
Exactly. Now, all I'm trying to say is that your aspirations are legitimate.
I'm sorry, you cut out still.
Your aspirations are legitimate.
They're legitimate. Okay.
Your aspirations are legitimate. I mean, write that down even. My aspirations are legitimate. Note well, I said aspirations, not ambitions. You also used the word aspiration.
Yeah, no, aspirations, not ambitions.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Ambitions can lead you astray, cause trouble, but aspirations, that's a whole different thing. But you can, and that's a huge deal.
Right.
That's a huge deal. They're legitimate. Your aspirations are legitimate. That's a very, 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 very big deal. How they always say all this whole thing, just believe in yourself, I just do, I prefer to say, but okay, sometimes it does start with having a little bit of belief that you can.
Right. Yeah? Yes.
You were going to say something, Cheryl, Sue?
Just talk about the sheep before. I mean, think about all the sheep that you work with, even maybe some of your friends who are sheep. They just they just kind of go on with life and just kind of hang down there, and that's why you don't mesh well with them, because you're not a sheep.
Now, does it mean to be a sheep is wrong or bad or lowly or less than? No, it doesn't. For some people, they like being sheep. It's low energy. They don't need to think. It's no responsibility. It suits them just fine. It's for them, the effort reward is ideal, but it's not for you.
No.
Right? Just because it's for
No,
them.
I have a vision. I may
Mm-hmm.
not be there, but I have a vision of where I would like to be.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. One little step at a time.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. That's it. I mean, I remember a guy came to the school when I was a kid, you know, and those motivational speakers. I was the only kid in the school who listened to them, by the way. You know, for the most part,
see,
the kids didn't hear a word. The school that I was in, it just went right through. You know, I mean, you could have asked them afterwards what they say. Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
So there goes the nature nurture argument, right?
Yeah. Well, because the speakers didn't speak to the kids, they spoke in adult language, and they didn't really click. That the kids don't hear a word that you're saying. You know, it's not in the kids' language. Anyway, so he had a plastic bag. I still remember. Took amazing this, you know, shopping bag that he brought out the stage with him. It's like, what? It's just like kind of a weird thing to do. So he said, oh, he walked around the whole world, and he said, you know, that the things that were a problem for him weren't the big things like you think, big boulders in the road, stuff like that. And he says, no, those things were never a problem because why you just go around them? It's not a big deal.
You go around those, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he says, but what did cause me a problem was this, and it took his walking shoe out of the bag, and then he had, and then from the bag, he said, it's this that caused me a problem. And he poured sand into the shoe. He had sand in the shoe in the bag. He said it was the sand, the little grains of sand. He said, they caused me blisters. And it would get in my shoe all the time, little pebbles. And I had to stop, take it out. This is my biggest problem in working around the world.
I got it.
He also, but he also, by saying that I walked around the world, I walked around the world. Wow, you actually walked all the way. He literally had walked all the way around the world, right?
Wow.
Yeah. How did he do that? One step at
a time.
That's amazing. The power of patience. That's all. He got there simply through patience.
Yeah.
While we were on those speakers, there was another one who came to school, my favorite, because the very lesson he was trying to instill, I got the exact opposite philosophy of ops. So he starts off and he gets all fired up and he said, oh, you know, the youth of today, they're really terrible and they garbage in the streets and politics is a mess and there's wars all over the world and, you know, the economy's in a disaster. And he just keep on going on. He's ranting and raving. Okay, so he calms down a little bit. He's got his little act going. He says, oh, who do you think said that? Like anybody in the whole audience is in that school, very, very conservative. Like anybody's actually going to put their hand up and stick their head out of the sheet. No, never going to happen. So of course nobody says anything. But the implication was it's some, you know, the local, whoever the politician of the day was, the president or prime minister or whatever. He says no. And he rattled off a few names, you know, it wasn't so-and-so. Who said it? It was Socrates. Of course, nobody knows who they are. Socrates. He says, Socrates said this 2,500 years ago. Wow. And he was trying to make a point of that, you know, you've got to like do something. And his whole speech was about taking action and, you know, being proactive and all this. But for me, I said, wait a minute. If you had the same shit 2,500 years ago, and it's been going on all through the centuries, I don't need to worry about that crap because, well, the world is here and it's keeping going and it's all fine despite all that nonsense. So I don't need to worry about stuff like that. And from then on, I never did.
Wow.
I don't have to worry about the politics and the youth being messed up and, you know, whoever.
And you just made the decision right there and then.
Yeah. But the logic was there because I, you know, thinking it through to the end. If this was an issue for Socrates and it's still an issue today, and the world has existed, the world didn't end. Socrates was making it sound like the world was going to end, but it didn't end. And likewise, the people fussing about all the stuff today, the world's not going to end. It's going to continue. So I can do my part, but I don't need to be stressed and worried and upset about it because no, the world's not going to end. So I said, okay, I can chill, I can relax.
Wow.
Yeah. Philosophy of opposite a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very powerful for me there. Very powerful. I mean, that's why I remember it still. You know, it really changed my life just hearing that. It's not what the guy did. It don't matter. It was kind of
how old were you? How old?
For either 11 or 12. I don't remember. One of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a normal child. He was
Not
not
a normal child.
No, I was never a normal child, but I was lucky, Cheryl. I was lucky. I was never an abnormal child either.
Mhm.
I was by no means ever a normal child, but you would never have known it because I got really lucky. I had it's in my whole story there, the young man's story. It's called the bathroom incident. And the upshot of it was that I understood from that I needed to develop what I called my public side and my private side. And the public side was for public display. The private side was for me. It was never secret. If anybody wanted to know, they could have just asked and I would have told them, but nobody ever asked. But it was just about appropriateness, in other words, to have that public side and the private side. So I always knew that I was different, but I, behaved like normal because, well, it's appropriate. That's it. To do otherwise, it's just going to get you into trouble. And I saw many kids get into trouble regularly trying to assert their independence. In that environment that I was in, I mean, I grew up in, at least in that school, that town, the first 3 years of my schooling, that was basically an Amish culture. They just didn't wear the uniforms, but everything else was the same. So, you don't stand up, you don't say anything. And I saw kids trying to be independent and all that. All they got was get beatings and hidings for being a troublemaker. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was very lucky in that sense. Who knows where the stuff came from? I've thought it through many times. I guess I just came out of the box different. I don't know. Maybe it's Chanel's story too, that we loop around and we come back, but Chanel was saying she choose to come here. I chose to come for some reason too, I guess, and I don't remember, but I really do feel this. I really do feel this really profoundly. The things that I came out of the box with are the things now which I emphasize as being ridiculously important, those core values like appropriateness. In other words, my dictionary of power stuff. That whole story, that bathroom incident, the public and the private side, was really about being appropriate. That was the story. So I understood appropriateness innately and I applied it in that sense. Same with strategy. I always, even before I had the word strategy, I was ridiculously strategic. So, and I think this is what the issue is. We're here to learn those things and then they carry over and now you can build on that. Same thing with awareness, when the time came for the trigger to happen, it just clicked in my brain and it was awareness that came out of that, So the day the light bulb exploded. It's a literal.
Yeah.
It's both literal and figurative. I accidentally exploded a light bulb and it started a whole chain of events that got me onto awareness and paying attention, defining awareness. What is awareness?
Right.
But again,
what?
Yeah, who knows? I can't take any credit for it because I thought this through when I later on, like, where did this shit come from? Because somebody said, wow, like, where did you get this from? Oh, I didn't get it from anywhere. I said, wow, that's really cool. And then like you want to say, oh, that's what I said. No, but and then I started thinking, and then I said, nah, it just came. I came out of the box that way. So how can I claim any credit? It is what it is,
Yeah.
It's very cool though. Very cool. But I really do feel, and I see it now, that the stuff that I'm really emphasizing as super important now, all dictionary of power stuff, that's the stuff that got me through the knuckleheadedness of the unawareness of childhood.
Okay.
It's really potent. Really, really, really potent. And that, like for instance, with that story of the guy with Socrates, right? That's paying attention to the implications. For me, implications is in my dictionary of power, capital I implications. It's a huge deal. This is a ridiculous skill because I just listened by implication. If Socrates was saying it then, and the same shit is still going on now, and it's been going on through all the centuries, I don't need to worry. That's the implication, right?
Right.
Implications are unbelievably potent and powerful. Really, really huge. It's a magical skill to develop. Yeah. And the other thing was, I listened to myself. I was not influenced by the world around me. I chose my parents because my parents were BMN yuppies. I mean, BMN being bullshit manipulated narcissists, right? and just into ego and status and all the stuff. My earliest memory is that they're ridiculous. They're intelligent, but they're also foolish and idiotic. And I don't want anything to do with their way of life. That's pretty much my earliest memories. And I made every effort. I always was outside. And in winter, I would find places to literally hide in the house. So I wouldn't have to interact with them. Just be on my own.
Yeah.
I'm saying the point is not what I did that was different, but the underlying mindset to not be influenced by things around you. Follow your own path. And that was always an issue for me. And I knew it right from get-go. Just because they do it doesn't mean I have to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with loving. So somebody said at school the one day, I still remember his name, Alwyn. Like the idiot, he put his bicycle in front of my brother's bicycle, and I was sitting on the crossbar for whatever reason, and we drove into it, and I went flying over the handlebars and cut open my old chin. Anyway, so this idiot said one day, "Oh, but I have to love my mother because she's my mother. I have to love her." I don't know, his mother had done something, whatever that he didn't like, or one of the kids said this, and that was his reply. "Oh, but you have to love your mother because she's your mother." And I'm like, wait, why? If she's not lovable, I'm not gonna love her. She's not lovable. End the story. Independence of thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a big deal for me.
I mean, there's some strength and conviction there.
But I don't think that was innate, is what I'm saying, and I feel it comes from what I'm doing now.
Oh.
I don't know. Some of the scientists will tell you, the physicists, time doesn't really exist. It's all happening simultaneously. I don't know. There is no future, no past. You can get into that whole time thing. But that's what I feel. I really feel I see how now independence of thought and practicing thinking differently and really thinking it through to the end. I thought about it like, you have to love your mother, but what are you loving based on? Why? You take it all the way to the end. Well, don't you love something because it's lovable? If you love it because of obedience, then is it real love or is it just obedience?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I loved her because she was my mother.
Do you have to? I'm not saying that you can't. Of course, you can choose to. Sure,
I mean, not that there was nothing ever good about Vivian. I mean, you heard my eulogy, Susie. There was a lot of very lovely things about her. Mm-hmm. There was also some really screwed up stuff.
Why? So I'm not saying don't love your mother. I'm just saying it's your choice.
Oh.
That's all. I'm loving you because I feel you are lovable. You may be a crap person and still be lovable. That's often the case.
Okay.
My mother wasn't a bad person, but she wasn't very lovable.
I think
my father's a bad person, but he's more lovable.
Mine just did some really screwed up stuff.
Same with them. I mean, they were just silly. Even though they were intelligent, they were silly because they got so caught up in ego. And I could see that. I mean, my father's a real brainiac. He speaks 7 languages and he's like a chess grandmaster. And he's not just a general practitioner, but he's a surgeon and a dentist and a pharmacologist. Yeah, he's like a real brainiac. But he's an asshole. I mean, he's just ridiculous. And he's all into ego and status and he does the most stupid things. Yeah, totally. That's how I felt as a kid. Yeah. He was an expert asshole. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was intelligent, he was really good at being a dickhead, but foolish, rather foolish and silly, like simple things. Like we were in a little town, right? Really little town, Amish town. And right that time they were putting in the telephones. So the first telephones we had was still the party line, right? So our phone number was 8.
Your phone number was what?
8.
8.
The number 8. Yeah, that's it. Just one number, 8. Yeah, exactly. Well, because there were so few phones. And I think my father's surgery a little later was 88. And then the car was 88 or 888. And we lived at number 8 on the street. and everything was this series of 8s. And my father just, you see, he pointed to the number plate one day, see 8, and then the phone number and the house. And he pointed this out to her. He thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's cool, but it's also like ridiculously childish, seriously, you're like a doctor and a grown man, and this is your thing. I thought it was cool, and my brother thought it was cool, but seriously, for you,
She didn't see
I
any
saw
significance
how
in
it was ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do it because it was cool. He did it because it was like important and status and everything. So I realized his foolishness in it. If he just done it for the fun of it because he could, but he was trying to show us I could do this because in that town, the doctor is the second thing to God. That's it.
Yeah.
You the man, you the chief. Yeah, oh yeah, because it's very remote and it was like a big, literally in the middle of nowhere. So no near centers. So he's a megalomaniac. So that's why I chose a little town like that. So he could be the boss man and be in charge. But you see that as a kid. Now most kids don't. They squelch that. I think they don't acknowledge those awarenesses. I think it's in most kids actually.
Yeah.
At some point, goes pretty quickly though. Sometimes. I mean, I saw kids think independently and not for very long. The moment they expressed that, it got squished.
Right. Now, I always ask why. I've always asked, and I've asked myself why. I've always been.
And what did you get for your troubles when you asked why?
Most of it was nonverbal asking why, like in my journaling and just exploring my own. Why do I feel this way? Why, even asking myself why other people do what they do. Why do I think she does what she does? Or that kind of thing. Why did he do that to me? And I was always a big why kind of person. I just wanted to explore things.
And did you take it through to the end?
Did I think it through all the way to the end?
I mean, did you answer your own question?
Sometimes, sometimes not. I mean, I saw it too, but there were some times when, the end of my question was just a great big question mark. I just don't know, But I didn't really have any tools except for what was, it wasn't very popular too.
Exactly. And this is what made the difference for me. I had tools to use to work with. I understood thinking it through to the end. I really used that tool. I understood scientific method before I heard the word. I really feel we carry stuff over. If there's one thing that I never had this as a belief, it was completely not part of my upbringing. I only came to this conclusion because of Sherlock Holmes. When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can make sense of me, is that I carry this stuff over in some way. It's the only way that I make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't believe it because I want to, because it's something that I've learned or thought I should believe. No, I can't help but believe it. There's no other rational explanation for it.
Yeah.
How cool is that? I still don't necessarily subscribe to this belief because I don't have conclusive proof for it. I only have inferential proof, circumstantial proof, but I have to go with it. I don't have any other choice.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So I use it though. I say, okay, it is a high probability that it's accurate based on the evidence that I have. So therefore, I'm going to make every effort to leverage it for next time.
Okay.
So I continually look at all my screw ups, all where I messed up, everything where it went wrong. And I said, what did I need to know so that I would have avoided that?
Right.
That's very powerful. That's to me is ridiculously powerful. So
yeah, no, just
that's huge. That's huge. I look at other people too, and I say the same thing. I don't look at the specific remedy. I look at the abstract quality that they needed, right?
Okay.
The characteristic, in other words, like for instance, looking at implications or being aware, anticipating, being strategic, just anticipating. Boy, that got me out of all sorts of bullying. I was almost never ever bullied. I was really successful at avoiding bullying, and my whole culture was a bully culture because I could just anticipate. I could literally see the bully coming along, and he's walking around in a valley.
Yeah.
And you can be strategic. I used to always have on my person in high school a matchstick and a used toothbrush, survival kit. Say, what? Okay, I see Mr. Bully coming along. He's walking across the quad, and we're sitting there on the quad, on the cement or the tarmac or whatever it is. And I see him coming. I take out my toothbrush and I start sweeping the court, the whatever we're sitting on. So Bully comes along, and he's got me in mind. He says, "What are you doing?" "Oh, John said I must sweep the thing with a toothbrush." Very funny. And I act all like I'm being victimized. Okay, well, I'm busy. Now, I know John is not on friendly terms with Jackass over here. So he's not going to go and talk to John about it because, just it's not in his mind that I would be just saying this, right? So, and he's not on friendly terms with John, so it's not possible for him to talk. And he doesn't want to get butt heads with John either. So he just leaves me alone and finds somebody else to bother. Very simple. The same thing with a toothpick. If we're sitting on the rugby field, they come along, I start measuring it. "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm going to measure the thing with the toothpick." Oh, very funny. But again, they leave you alone because you're already doing something, That's it.
Right.
What was the match? What did you do with the match?
Measure the football field.
Oh, that was a toothpick. I thought you said a toothpick.
Yeah. Oh, match or toothpick, same thing. Yeah. It was a match actually, not a toothpick. Yeah. But toothpick works just as well. A match. Yeah, it was a match.
Works just as well to measure the football field.
Yeah, but matches were, match boxes were in use. They didn't have lighters in those days, really. I mean, they did, but they were expensive, and you always used matches. So everybody had matches.
Yeah,
they were commonly available. Everybody smoked, of course, too.
Everybody smoked too.
And by that time, I was smoking too. I never smoked at school though.
I still smoke.
Yeah. I just gave it up one day.
Yeah. I'm going to do that too one day.
Yeah. But you know what? I really said, people said, "Oh, you smoking, you're addicted." I said, "No, I smoke because I want to." And because I said that, and I really did, the day came when I decided I don't want to smoke anymore, and I just stopped. And
see, that's the thing. I keep thinking to myself, at some point, I'm not going to want to, right?
Yeah. And that's what I changed.
At some point, it's going to become too big of a pain in the ass. Right now, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And that's what I said to people. I said, "Look, I do it because I want to. If I don't want to, I'll stop."
Yeah.
And that's what you say. And, because I said that, I made it a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when the time came and I said, "Well, I want to," and there was no stress involved. It took like 2 weeks, and I gradually, and then it just went away. And then I never even had a desire to smoke after that. Now it's like, it's horrible. Yeah. I mean, I like the smell of it, but to try the taste of it, oh no. It's yucky. Yeah. Ashtray kissing.
Yeah. My mother quit when she was like in her 60s.
Yeah, I mean, Frenchie and ashtray, and then it's like to smoke.
But no, she was like in her late 60s, and whenever we'd get together, she'd go, "Light a cigarette. I want to smell it."
Yeah, well,
she likes to smell it.
Yeah, I do. I like that. So get yourself some, tobacco incense.
True.
Yeah. But I will say I can hear it in your voice, Cheryl. So unless you want to have that voice, another 5-10 years time, better start quitting now.
Oh, you hear my raspy.
The smoking in your voice.
Yeah.
Yep. It's there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very happy to say I don't see it in your face. The smoking. Yeah. I mean, I can see it in people's faces, but I hear it in your voice, but I don't see it in your face, which is very cool. Yeah. Very cool. But it affects. You know what smokers look like when they get older, right? Women, particularly. There's a particular look to them, no?
Yeah.
I get that leathery skin, along with that raspy voice, and it affects the eyes too. I don't know. There's something that happens to the eyes. I'm not sure what. But it's choice. It's effort reward. You have to decide where's the effort reward is and where's the balance. How much effort is worth the reward? Yeah. It's a big deal. Put effort reward in the dictionary of power. Susan Ari. Where's Sue? Sue? You're muted, Sue. You're muted.
Sorry, I just wanted to take the dog out.
Right. That's very cool. Very cool. We can do a lot when we decide to. Yeah, right, Cheryl?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How much does that smoking cost you a month, by the way? What percentage of your salary goes to cigarettes?
Well,
it's quite substantial, I'll bet.
I smoke cheapies.
Even so, it's bloody
I only
expensive.
spend about $5 a pack.
$5. Holy shit! Wow.
But a lot of them.
I started smoking.
A lot of them
I was
cost
10
close
when
to
I started.
10.
Yeah,
lot.
I'll say yeah. I mean, I started when I was 10 years old. But back then, when I started, it was 19 cents a pack.
I always said when it got to $5, I was quitting.
Oh
yeah.
So when you quitting again? Do you
Not
want
today.
to quit though? I don't feel you have to. I mean, yes, my point, and I see this. I'm happy to live 5 years less if my life is happy. If I have to live a whole life miserable to live 5 years longer, sorry, you can have those 5 years.
Yeah.
I really feel that way. So if it makes you happy and you're getting value, and so what? If you at least do it consciously and deliberately, know where you're at. Is the effort worth the reward?
Right.
That you got to decide for yourself. Is the effort worth the reward? Is the consequence something you're willing to live with?
Some days it is, and some days it isn't,
Interesting. And then you got to decide how much of it is habit, and am I really in charge of this decision or not?
Right.
If you can quit and then decide to start again, then I'll believe you that it's a choice. Other than that, sorry. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought about it last night when I ran out of cigarettes. Maybe I shouldn't buy another pack. I haven't had one since last night.
Or when you go buy cigarettes, never drive. Only walk to buy cigarettes.
I live on the side of a mountain.
That'll make you stop smoking in a hurry. You muted too.
And she'd quit today.
Exactly. I was making the point that sometimes we can leverage ourselves, right? It's kind of fun to think of it that way. It's fun. Yeah. Brilliant. All right. I got to take care of some stuff. Otherwise, we could just keep going until Erica. But in 2 hours' time, if you can, come back.
Okay.
At 1 o'clock.
Come on Zoom. Just come on Zoom. In 2 hours' time.
I just hit the same link that I hit to
same
come
link.
on.
It's always the same link. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You'll love Erica. You'll love her.
Okay. I'll try to get some housework done and be back in 2 hours.
There you go. Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
Okay. All right.
Bye. Yes. All right. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Fantastic.